There's a silent intelligence guiding every moment of your life, a hidden architecture that connects everything in ways your logical mind can't always comprehend. Sometimes, this invisible thread reveals itself in fleeting moments. You think of someone, and they call. A number repeats on every clock you glance at. A random book falls open to the exact line your soul needed to hear. These aren't accidents. They're synchronicities, the subtle way the universe says, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm responding. But here's the paradox. These signs don't come when you're chasing them. They appear when you let go. Most of us have been taught that life is a puzzle to be solved, that success and clarity come from effort, control, and constant striving. We believe that the tighter we hold on, the safer we'll be. But in doing so, we cut ourselves off from the very flow that brings everything together. Letting go isn't giving up, it's opening up. It's the courageous act of releasing. Your grip on how things must happen, when they must happen, or what they must look like. It's trusting that there is an intelligence far greater than your planning mind, and that this intelligence is on your side. When you loosen your hold, the universe finally has space to move. You stop blocking the current, and in that space, synchronicities begin to unfold. The answers show up, the timing aligns, the people arrive. What once felt delayed now feels divinely timed, because you're no longer pushing, you're allowing. Ironically, the moment you surrender is the moment everything starts falling into place. You don't have to chase what is meant for you. When your energy softens into trust, the universe mirrors that trust back through unexpected blessings. You've been asking for signs, guidance, opportunities, but what if all of it has been circling you, waiting for you to relax your grip just enough to receive it? Synchronicity doesn't shout. It whispers, and when you're finally quiet enough to hear it, when you're no longer trying to control the timing of every miracle, that's when everything you've been waiting for arrives, not by force, but by flow. Let go, not because you're giving up, but because the life you're dreaming of needs room to enter. Letting go is not a single decision, it's a moment-to-moment practice, and yet it is one of the most misunderstood spiritual principles. Most people assume letting go means giving up, but in truth, letting go is alignment. It is the act of stepping out of the noise of control and into the intelligence of flow. Think about the moments in your life when everything just clicked. The right person walked in, the solution appeared, or the timing was uncannily perfect. You weren't overthinking, you weren't forcing. You had, in some subtle way, surrendered. And in that surrender, life moved effortlessly. But here's what often gets in the way: the mind's obsession with certainty, the need to know how, when, and through whom the desire will manifest. This constant questioning sends a fragmented signal into the field. It says, I don't trust, and the field, always mirroring you, responds with more reasons to doubt, more delays, more confusion. Control is rooted in fear. It's the mind trying to protect you from the unknown. But, ironically, the tighter you grip, the more resistance you create. You cut yourself off from the very energy that allows synchronicity to unfold. You miss the signs because you're too busy searching. Letting go shifts everything. It's not passive, it's powerful. When you let go, your energy becomes coherent. You stop scattering your focus and start radiating a clear signal to the field. I trust, I'm ready, I'm open. And the field always responds to clarity. This is why the moment you stop obsessing over the outcome, something unexpected shows up. The phone rings, the door opens, the opportunity appears. Not because you chased it, but because you made space for it. You don't manifest by micromanaging every detail. You manifest by becoming a vibrational match to the reality you desire, and then releasing it into the hands of the unseen. Letting go is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It's what tells the universe, I've done my part. Now I trust you to do yours. The universe doesn't need your control. It needs your clarity and your trust, because only when you let go can life finally deliver what has been waiting for you all along. There's a quiet truth the universe is always whispering. What you're seeking is already seeking you, but it cannot reach you when you're tangled in resistance, urgency, and control. The energy you carry speaks louder than your words. And the moment you let go, even for a breath, the things meant for you begin to move. Why? Because letting go opens a doorway. It's a shift from force to flow, from pressure to presence. It creates space where the universe can finally respond to your signal. Most people spend their lives sending mixed messages to the quantum field, hoping for one thing while vibrating in fear, asking for clarity while holding on to doubt. The result: static, noise, delays. Letting go is about coherence. The state where your mind, body, and heart speak the same frequency. It says, I'm done grasping. I'm ready to receive. And in that moment of release, you become magnetic to the very things you've been waiting for. Think of it this way. The field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. If you embody lack, life reflects lack. If you embody trust, life opens. This is not magic, it's resonance. The law of alignment. When you relax your grip, even for a moment, you give permission for grace to enter. Synchronicities begin to emerge not because you're chasing them, but because you've softened enough to notice them. The signs were always there. The answers were always circling you. You just couldn't see them while gripping the steering wheel of control so tightly. But in surrender, your vision clears, your pace slows, your awareness sharpens, and suddenly, what once felt distant begins to feel inevitable. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you finally care enough to trust. It means you believe the universe can hold the weight of your dreams and deliver them in divine timing, not forced deadlines. When you let go, life doesn't fall apart, it rearranges. The pieces shift, the people align, the path clears. Not because you pushed, but because you allowed. And in that space of allowing, everything you've been waiting for, quietly, perfectly, begins to arrive. Letting go is not giving up. It is not surrendering your dreams or silencing your desires. It is choosing to stop wrestling with life and start trusting its rhythm. When you release the need to control how and when your dreams unfold, you step into the flow where everything you've been waiting for has space to arrive. Most people confuse surrender with weakness, but real surrender is strength. It's the strength to stand still while everything around you shifts. It's the courage to trust that the invisible is working, even when the visible hasn't changed yet. We've been taught that hustle equals progress, that control equals safety. But those beliefs keep you locked in survival. They keep your nervous system on edge and your heart clenched shut. Letting go is the opposite. It's a homecoming to peace, a remembering that the universe is intelligent and it doesn't need micromanaging. It needs your alignment, and alignment doesn't come through stress. It comes through stillness. Think about the moments in your life that changed everything. Were they carefully planned? Or did they arrive unexpectedly during a walk, a quiet moment, or when you finally stopped trying to force an outcome? That is the power of letting go. You move from pushing life to partnering with it. You stop chasing and start receiving. The things you were once desperate for begin to show up with ease. Not because you tried harder, but because you became available. Availability is key. When you're consumed by anxiety, control, or impatience, your energy closes. You send out a signal of resistance. But when you relax, breathe, and trust, your field opens. You broadcast a different message. I'm ready. I'm safe. I trust the unfolding. And life mirrors that message back to you. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you choose to care in a new way, through trust, not tension. Through faith, not force. Through flow, not fear. When you let go, you're not falling behind. You're falling into alignment. You're aligning with something greater than your plans. Divine timing, quantum intelligence, the unseen current. That's always been trying to carry you exactly where you were meant to be. Letting go changes the signal you send out into the quantum field. It's not just a mental shift, it's energetic. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your frequency. And when your energy is heavy with doubt, desperation, or fear, it creates static in your signal. The things you desire can't find a clear path to you. But the moment you release that resistance, when you stop obsessing over outcomes and lean into trust, your frequency clears. And in that clarity, life can finally respond. This is why the most profound shifts often happen when you're not trying. The door opens when you stop knocking. The solution appears when you stop overthinking. The phone rings just after you let go of needing it to. It's not magic, it's alignment. You were never meant to force your way into your dream life. You were meant to become the version of yourself who naturally attracts it. That version of you doesn't need proof to believe. They trust before they see. They rest in the knowing that what's meant for them is already on the way. Because it's a match to who they're becoming. Letting go isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing the right things with the right energy. It's action from a grounded place, not from panic. It's choosing thoughts that feel like peace, behaviors that feel like alignment, and beliefs that feel like freedom. You don't have to beg the universe for a breakthrough. You don't have to script every step or rehearse the perfect outcome. Your job isn't to figure out how. Your job is to embody the version of you that's already living in the why. The version that's already enough, already whole, already in tune with what's coming. When you truly let go, you release the illusion that things are missing. You stop seeing yourself as someone waiting. You realize you're already in the field where everything exists, and it's your energy that activates the possibilities within it. So breathe, release your grip. You haven't fallen behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And when you let go, truly let go, what's been waiting for you all along finally has space to arrive. Most people are taught to believe that holding on tightly is the only way to stay safe, that control equals power. But in truth, control is often just fear in disguise. It tells the universe, I don't trust you to take care of this, so I'll do it myself. And the moment we grip too tightly, we create resistance. Not because we're doing something wrong, but because we're out of alignment with the natural rhythm of life. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about stepping out of the energy of forcing and into the energy of allowing. The energy that says, I trust that what's for me will find me. I trust that I don't have to chase what is already mine. This shift in frequency is what turns waiting into receiving. Have you ever noticed how the most meaningful synchronicities show up when you're relaxed, not when you're anxiously searching for them? That's not a coincidence, it's a reflection. The field mirrors your state. When your energy says, I am open, it responds with flow. When your energy says, I must make this happen, it responds with friction. Letting go invites grace. It turns the unknown from a threat into a canvas. You stop needing to see every step before you take the first one. You start moving with faith, knowing that clarity comes after commitment, not before. This doesn't mean you become passive. It means you become powerful in a quieter way. You stop wasting energy trying to control what's out of your hands and start channeling your energy into embodying who you came here to be. You begin to ask better questions. Not how do I make this happen, but who do I need to become, so that this is my reality. And with that question, everything begins to shift. Your thoughts, your choices, your energy, they align with your vision. When you let go, you don't abandon your dreams. You simply create the space for them to come alive in the most beautiful, unexpected ways. Not because you chased them, but because you matched them. Let go, not out of fear, but from trust. That's when everything you've been waiting for begins to arrive. Letting go doesn't mean you lose your desires. It means you stop strangling them with impatience. So often, people chase their dreams with urgency, thinking that constant motion will force them into reality. But urgency is often just fear, wearing a different mask, the fear that if you stop chasing, you'll never arrive. The truth is the opposite. When you let go of control, you allow space for miracles. You allow the field to respond not just to what you want, but to who you are becoming. This is the secret most never learn. Your vibration does more than your actions ever could. It shapes the unseen architecture of your life, sending out a frequency that says, I'm ready, long before the physical results show up. But here's the catch. If your thoughts say yes, but your energy says doubt, the field won't respond to your words. It will mirror your frequency. That's why people say affirmations over and over and see no change. Because they're speaking trust, but vibrating fear. And the quantum field listens to vibration. When you truly let go, you shift out of negotiation and into alignment. You stop offering the universe a deal. I'll believe when it shows up, and start embodying the reality before it arrives. You become a vibrational match. And in that frequency of openness, the things you used to chase begin to appear naturally, without struggle. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming wise. You take inspired action, but you stop micromanaging timing, details, and outcomes. You stop demanding guarantees, and instead move with the quiet confidence that what's aligned will unfold, often faster than you ever imagined. It's in this space that life surprises you. A conversation opens a door. A delay leads to divine timing. A rejection becomes redirection. Not because you controlled it, but because you released the pressure and let the field do what it does best, respond to who you are being. So if things haven't been flowing, ask yourself, gently, am I holding on too tightly? Am I trying to force what's already trying to find me? Let go, not to give up, but to make space. Because when you do, everything you've been waiting for finally knows where to land. Have you ever noticed that the most profound moments in life tend to arrive not when you're trying, but when you're simply present? That's the quiet magic of letting go. When you release the need to constantly analyze, predict, and plan every outcome, you begin to shift into a state of allowing, and that's when everything begins to change. Letting go isn't about abandoning your dreams. It's about releasing your grip long enough for life to breathe them into reality. Most people don't realize how much resistance they carry. It shows up in overthinking, in the endless questioning of how and when, and in the silent pressure to always be doing something. But the field doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to presence. It responds to the frequency of openness, not the frequency of desperation. When you let go, you create space for the universe to surprise you. You open a doorway for synchronicity, for alignment, for the very things you've been chasing to begin chasing you. This doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop controlling. You stop believing that things must unfold on your timeline and start trusting that the divine has a much wider perspective than your limited view. Letting go is an act of inner confidence, the kind that says, I no longer need to grip because I trust that what's meant for me is already in motion. This energy is magnetic. It invites support, guidance, and opportunity without the exhausting effort of pursuit. And most importantly, letting go puts you in deeper relationship with yourself. When you stop outsourcing your worth to outcomes, you begin to anchor into your own stability. You start asking, who do I need to become to receive what I've been asking for? That question is a portal. It shifts your focus from the external world to the internal landscape where everything truly begins. So if you're tired, if you feel like you've been running in circles, maybe it's not because you're not trying hard enough. Maybe it's because you're trying too hard. Let it go, breathe, come back to presence, and watch how quickly the things you've been waiting for begin to arrive softly, naturally, right on time. Letting go doesn't mean you stop dreaming. It means you stop chasing from a place of lack. It's the shift from desperate seeking to graceful receiving. And it's in that shift where the field begins to respond differently. Every time you tell yourself a story rooted in fear, it never works out for me. Good things don't last. I have to fight for what I want. You reinforce a frequency that tells the universe you're not ready to receive. Not because you're unworthy, but because your energy is still tangled in resistance. Letting go is how you untangle that resistance and allow alignment to unfold. We often think we must earn blessings through effort, but the universe doesn't operate on struggle as currency. It speaks the language of coherence, and coherence arises when your thoughts, emotions, and actions align in trust, when you begin to act not from the fear of what might go wrong, but from the knowing that things are working in your favor, even when you can't see how. In this space, synchronicity becomes normal. Conversations, ideas, and opportunities begin to flow into your life with uncanny precision. Not because you're trying to force them, but because you've finally stopped standing in their way. When you let go, you soften the static in your signal. You create clarity, and the field, always listening, responds with mirrors of that clarity. The patterns of delay, confusion, or repetition begin to dissolve. Not because you fixed something outside of you, but because you changed the vibration. Within you, this is the truth many miss. You don't manifest from what you want. You manifest from who you are. And who you are is shaped by what you repeatedly feel and believe. Letting go is choosing to believe a new story, not later, but now. It's the conscious decision to step out of survival energy and into receptivity. The moment you do, life begins to organize around your new frequency. So pause, breathe, drop the weight of needing to control the outcome, because when you finally let go, What you've been waiting for no longer has to wait for you. It arrives gently, powerfully, right on time. Letting go is not the end of your journey. It's the moment it truly begins. It's the space where urgency softens and life has room to breathe through you. When you release your grip on how things must unfold, you step into a flow that is wiser, wider, and far more loving than the mind alone can imagine. In this space of surrender, you no longer chase signs, you become someone who naturally receives them. The shift is subtle but powerful, from needing proof to embodying trust, from seeking validation to standing in alignment. You realize that the signs were never meant to convince you of your power, they were reflections of it. Everything you've been waiting for, the love, the clarity, the opportunity, the breakthrough, doesn't respond to your hustle, it responds to your energy. An energy that is calm, open, and rooted in trust sends a clear signal. I am ready. The universe always mirrors your dominant vibration, not your desire. So the moment you let go of desperation, you stop pushing what you want away. You move out of the vibration of grasping and into the frequency of receiving. This is where magic happens, not as a miracle, but as a natural unfolding of your alignment. Think of letting go as leaning back into the arms of something greater, not abandoning your dreams, but trusting that they already know their way to you. In this trust, synchronicities bloom. Paths you couldn't see before begin to light up. People, places, and possibilities align in perfect rhythm, because you've cleared space for them to arrive. This is the secret. You don't attract what you want by clinging. You attract it by becoming. And when you become the version of you who already feels safe, whole, and guided, everything you've been waiting for shows up, not to complete you, but to reflect what you've finally allowed yourself to feel. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom. It's choosing to move with life rather than against it. So as you read these words, breathe a little deeper. Soften your expectations and remind yourself, you are not lost. You are aligning, and everything meant for you is already on its way, right on time. As always,